So the lesson today on Module 5, Lesson 1, the objective is today you will relate 10 more, 10 less, 100 more, and 100 less to add and subtract. Obviously to add, we were going to be doing 10 more and 100 more, and to subtract, we're going to do 10 less and 100 less. And we're going to subtract it from the tens place and from the hundreds place. Just a quick overview on using the hundreds chart, or in this case the 200s chart, to help students solve the problems. Is one thing that I like to tell them is that as we move from one number to the next towards the right, the numbers increase by one. And as we moved one by one to the left, the numbers decrease by one or get smaller by one. Another useful thing to know about the hundreds chart is that no matter where you go in the chart, if you move up one, you're taking away 10. And if you go anywhere on the chart and you go down one, you are adding 10. And this is a quick way for them to add and subtract by ones and by tens. So this hundreds chart can be replicated to any number if you just put a different number in the hundreds place. So let's look at the 100 to 200 piece of the chart, and we can just remove remove the one from the hundreds place and just add another number in the front to make it a 200 or a 300 or a 400 or a 500 or a 600 or a 700 or an 800 or even a 900 chart. The idea is for kids to know and to understand place value and to understand those benchmark numbers, and to be able to count, add one more, take away one, and then taking away 10 and adding 10 in those directions. And they can use the hundreds chart to solve any problem. So if we look at the bottom, I have a couple of examples of what they're going to be asked to do in this lesson. They're going to give them a set of numbers, and they have to decide if they're adding or subtracting. And then what place value is, what digit is changing? Is it the tens place or the hundreds place that's changing? So I'm seeing 180, 190, and I see that the ones place stays the same, and I see that the hundreds place stays the same. So I can tell that what's changing is the tens place. Now the students need to decide, are they adding 10 or are they taking away 10? So from 80 to 90, or from 180 to 190, there's 10 more. So we're adding 10 more. So you could think of this as 200 plus 10 is 210. 210 plus 10 is 220. 220 plus 10 is 230. And obviously it makes sense because the next number would be 240. And then I'm going to look at my next example to look at this also, and I can see that the ones place is staying the same, so I'm definitely not changing the ones place. And I see that the tens place is changing, but I also see that the hundreds place is changing. So actually no, this is a typo. I apologize. I see that the tens place stays the same, and I see that the hundreds place is changing. It says 600, 500, 400. So I can tell that the hundreds is changing, and it's decreasing by 100. That means I'm taking 100 away. So if I'm at 442 and I take 100 away, it's 342. And if I'm at 342 and I take 100 away, I'm at 242. And if I'm at 242 and I take 100 away, I would be on 142. And if I'm at 142 and I take 100 away, I'm left with 42. So today they're either going to decide if they're adding 10 more or 100 more, or if they're taking away 10 less or 100 less. Again, having them have this chart in front of them as they do the homework will be very helpful. One thing that you can do at home to help build number sense is if they have large collections of things like little pet shops or any small toys, Legos, have them put them away in bundles of 10 and then adding on from 10. Those are just quick, fun activities to play that actually help to build good number sense.